Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be. Um, Mike Miller here, 26-year veteran of the comic book industry, and creator of Lone Star and Blacklist Comics, which will be an Indiegogo sometime in the next month. I want to launch it before San Diego Comic Con. Coming up. First of all, congrats to Ethan Van Sciver for Cyberfrog. It's his last 24 hours, so if you haven't backed him yet, get out there and do it. It's the big push. I fully expect him to go over $400,000 today, and that will be insane. I will not get anywhere near that with Lone Star, but I just want to make sure I do it, do well enough that I can do this book for, you know, and pay the bills. So anyways, I am, let me check my, all right, I'm going to refresh this. I'm going to start this up for a share screen. Wow, that is a ridiculous space I have. Oh, you guys can't even see it because I'm not sharing the screen. Sorry, give me 2 seconds here. Friends of mine, I am going to put out a little call on Facebook, just so people know I'm here. Wow, my computer is terribly, terribly slow. What is on my mind? Is that once again? Okay. What's wrong with this? I'm sorry, guys. We're having some technical difficulty. If you can bear with me for a moment, I will eventually get around to posting. Okay, here we go. Stands in line. Why is it not letting me do anything? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you don't have to look at my ugly mug, and then you get to see what it is I am doing. If I can find my way back to, where is the, there it is, Google Hands. Sorry, I'm not exactly a Luddite, but I don't have all this stuff dialed in yet either. So, screen share, entire screen, share, and here we go. Let us click up Photoshop. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lone Star. So, this was my original initial drawing of Lone Star that I did Chicago Comic Con last year, and then I came home and inked it. And he hasn't changed much since I've been doing, you know, the first issue and whatnot. Oh my gosh, seriously. I can't talk to you right now about it. Who calls a guy during the live stream? Hold on a second, let me text him back. Okay. So yeah, basically, mostly the same design. I'm going to get rid of the camo shorts because, oh my gosh, that would be just such an incredible pain in the butt to do. Or not shorts, but pants. Every single time. No. And And I gave him like lower combat boots, more like modern era combat boots. And I haven't been putting his knife in the slide, which he's supposed to have, because that knife is actually a vital part of his story. But I left some gaps in there, so inverse. You guys might learn a little thing about coloring. I'm not the world's greatest colorist. I'm just going to flat this guy out so I can choose. What the heck? How did I not choose the color? Oh, dude. All right, so do that. Then I go in here, select. Sorry, this part's going to be boring. Flatting, in coloring, flatting is the most tedious, most boring thing ever. And I've never used a flatter, but I know they only charge like $15 a page to do this monotonous. You know what I'm. So that's what I'm talking about. Do this kind of monotonous. You know what? I don't even need it to be perfect. I just need to know where the colors go, because I already sent this. I already sent the first two covers to Teodoro Gonzalez, one of my great colorists, and I didn't give him a color scheme for the character because he didn't have one yet. So yeah, I figured, well, I better probably get on that before he starts coloring the character some way, and then I have to be like, no, change him, because that would be unprofessional and a waste of his time. And Tio has a lot of work to do other than my stuff, but he's a good friend, and he's been working with me on a bunch of stuff for a decade or more. Yeah, geez. Tio is an escapee from the socialist nightmare that is Venezuela, but he used to give me all these updates on what life was like in Venezuela, and I'm like, oh man, you got to get the heck out of there. But he eventually did, and he got in before the travel ban, so it all worked out for the best. And now here's living in America, having to make way more money because, oh my gosh, the dollar would go so far in Venezuela because their economy was just crap. I think he told me at one time that like $1 American, like on the black market or something, could trade for like 8,000 bolivar or something ridiculous like that. I'm like, so I pay you chump change for a poster and you're a millionaire. He's like, but yeah, now he's in America, and the dollar's just the dollar, so he's busting his butt day in, day out to live in the greatest nation on earth. It's expensive to live in the greatest nation on earth, I tell you what, especially if you have 5 kids. But anyway, all right, now we have a blue Lone Star. Yeah, I guess I kind of changed his pilot's cowl thing too, because I gave it kind of the side. Anyways, all right. So, oops, so I missed a spot there. All right. So, what I do is I gotta grab certain areas, and again, I apologize for the tediousness of this. If I had half a brain, I would have done all this beforehand just so I could sit here and select colors and do that. So and this is just flatting, so don't expect these are going to be the colors. This is so I can select these areas later. and switch the colors like on a whim, which I will do, because I'm really not 100% sure what color I want to make everything. Should I don't know. kind of going between like an authentic military thing or like a patriotic superhero kind of a thing. Probably leaning more towards the military. So the bird, the eagle. I want to just do them solid yellow, like goldenrod. But at the same time, I kind of do want to be like an authentic bald eagle, because that is a symbol of our nation. And yet, I am undecided. All for Pete's sake. See the thing that I hate about it. All right. So Lone Star. Where did I come up with the idea for Lone Star? I have another character called the Iron Cross, and he was he was in the history of the comic book universe I'm creating. The Iron Cross was. Gosh, I don't even talk about this stuff without spoiling it. Yeah. Let's see if anybody has any questions. I can avoid some spoiling stuff. No! Oh, wait. Did I pause it? Come on, start. Let's reboot this. Oh, wait. Did I pause it? Anyone? Zero watching. Oh, breaking my heart. Oh, well. I gotta color this thing anyway, so I might as well just talk my way through it. So, yeah, so the Iron Cross is like the Ubermensch of Nazi Germany who was the villain, the super villain of World War II in my universe. And Lone Star was the guy who took him down. And so that's where he places in my universe. I don't really want to give away more than that because and my kids are home, so here comes the noise. I don't want to give away more than that because it is something that makes for a great a great event in the actual story itself. I have the whole Lone Star story treatmented out, so I know what I can and cannot say without ruining like some great surprises in the story. But I'll probably be an idiot and say them anyways because I'm an idiot. So let's see here. You can tell why nobody's watching this because it's terribly, terribly boring. Not exactly. Hi. If anybody reads Bless This Mess, that's my guy. Bless This Mess. That's a comic I need to get back to. Gosh, I don't have time for anything. I have so much on my plate. But Micah, are you still standing behind me?
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? How was swimming? Oops. Come on. Oh. What color do you think Lone Star should be?
Blue.
Blue?
Red.
I mean, he's different colors, but like, what do you think his main color should be?
Yellow.
Blue, red, yellow. You're not helping at all. Should I make him like a soldier or like a superhero colors?
Soldier.
Soldier colors?
Doesn't need to be bright.
He doesn't need to be bright. You don't like bright superheroes?
You said I didn't.
You do like bright superheroes. You just don't want him to be bright.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because. Good reasoning. All right. Out of the mouths of babes. Oops. Oh my gosh, I can't stand this. Got it. Whew. Well, that was such a difficult process. All right, let's see. You. Let's just make you for right now. Halt. All right, now all I have to do is select the pants. Get away from this. Okay, so this little piece of metal right here, this knife, in his story, has to do with the Iron Cross. It is so they. Gosh darn it! No, that's gonna spoil it. I really want to talk about it. Everything makes sense in my universe. It all makes sense. Trust me. Let's do it. All right, and that'll be his color scheme. Let's get rid of this. All right. No, legitimately, this is just flat, so it's I just need different colors everywhere. And let's do his skin. The reason I wish somebody would ask questions is so I had something to talk about, and I didn't have to sit here and wax rhapsodic about things that I don't want to spoil in my comic book. But nobody's watching, are they? Still not watching. Huh? Oh! Arama, a question! Johnny Nguyen, are you going digital with Blacklist? I am going to have a digital option because, oh my gosh, that is the wrong color. Because, a lot of my fan base is new and from Injustice, and oops, that's wrong. And they're I talk to a lot of guys at conventions and stuff, and they're like, yeah, Injustice is my first comic, blah blah blah, and I'm like, most of the time they read it digitally. And so, I am a. Oops, I don't want to do that the same colors though. I lost my train of thought because my kid is screaming in the background. So, yeah, they do. All right, now as hokey as this looks, I'm going to save this off. LONESTAR color guide. Yeah, and so I'm not going to ignore that market, even though I am a guy who likes to read comics in my hands. I like to read graphic novels, actually, more so than comics. But you know, I want them in my grubby little hands, but lock this layer. But there's a whole market out there, and the whole next generation of readers are not going to care. They're never going to walk into a comic book store, for one thing. And so, yes, digital is the way I will go for at least part of this. I mean, at least part of my sales. So, other questions? Neon colors look awesome, kind of trippy. Yeah, this will be Lone Star when he was in the 70s. No, the 80s. The 80s. This is his official 80s day glow outfit. All right, let's find a legit color for this. Let's see. I don't want to go brown. I do want to. Maybe let's see. He's a pilot. Pilots had little brown leather jackets back in the day, so maybe let's just try sticking with the brown first. Whoops! We gotta multiply that layer. Oh, that just made it green. Oh, you know what I need to do? Oh, I need to select color. Select color. Black. Oh. Okay. And this is how you do it. You're learning things here. So you pick that layer, select the layer on top, and then fill it. And what you've got now is just the black colors from the inks filled in. So, hey, now you're learning things. So now you can have that background, and you can have this. And I don't have to have this be multiplying anymore, so it's normal, and then it's brown. All right, so let's go to his pants and let's do a sort of a green in the pants. I don't want to be saturated, maybe an olive drab. But then his shirt, I really do just want this shirt to be like a solid black, so his little yellow eagle can be, gosh, I want more of a goldenrod. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Kind of subdued, but still cool. Let's see. Have you colored a comic book before? Not an entire comic book. I used to color all of my Game of Thrones covers myself, but then one of the covers took me 22 hours to color because it was into the fall, and like there were all these leaves on the ground that were different colors because I wanted it to look, you know, cool and authentic and everything. And it took me 22 hours to color this thing, and I'm like, I'm getting paid $100. I could literally go work in McDonald's and make more money. So I hired a colorist who I'm just not, I mean, look at me. Look how long this is taking me to do this. And the other colorist was just much faster, so I tapped out and just hired a colorist to do the rest of my Game of Thrones covers. And usually, unless I literally have nothing else to do, then I won't color myself.
Ready?
All right, let's see. Wand. I think I'm gonna do his boots the same as his jacket to get some consistency. I don't think I want his gloves to be the same color. Maybe a darker brown. Maybe just darker, less saturated, but still brown. Just like that. Then his flight hat, cap, will be the same green as his yeah, I think I have seen him green. And then obviously this symbol here is going to have to be this will be a blue. I don't know if I want to use it like a faded blue because it is supposed to be pretty old, but yeah, that's good. Then obviously the star. I'll check any questions in a second here. If you got any questions, go ahead and line them up. I do enjoy answering the questions. Yes. And then plants always taking up time. Indeed. What is the deal with fallen leaves? I could probably show you guys that image if you wanted to see it. It would kind of be time away from. Yes. All right. So these wings on his cowl cap headgear are supposed to be reminiscent of the Navy Air Force flight symbol on the side of the planes, which means red, white, red stripes. But I don't know. Do you think I should go with gold? Let's hear from the peanut gallery if I should go with like a similar. Oh no, I could just steal this gold here. I could either do this, or I could do the red, white, red. Here, let's just see how the other one looks. So let's do a red, a little bit. I don't want to do faded red because it looks pink. It's just a darker red. There. And then we'll deselect this area. Tap, tap, tap. And then fill that with. So I kind of want to do want to do this ring in white. Isn't it? This is just for design. Here, what do you think? I think I like the red and white better. What do you guys think? Maybe a gold star. Oh, maybe a gold star. Oh, let's see. What do you think, Micah? Like the gold star with the blue?
Mm-hmm.
Like it gold, or you like it white?
White.
You like it white?
Mm-hmm.
The kid likes it white. What do you think, guys? Get a vote in here. White or gold? White. Gold. White. Actually, you know what? Before we make that decision, the color of the goggles is going to offset the blandness of the nothingness below it. So Now I don't know what color to do the goggles on. Well, the straps should probably be brown. Let's see. Let's lighten it. And blue it up a little bit. Saturate. No, not saturate. Desaturate. Oh, we got it. Yeah. So gray there. Yeah, let's. So this. So I want the centerpiece to be awesome. So this can be brown. Bam. And then this. Brush. I'm going to give a little bit of. These are metal. Gold without the white circle. Okay, I'll think about that. All right, and then the lenses. Look at you guys. You're helping with the creation of a character for the new universe. I'm not giving you any of you credit. I'm just kidding. I will say design aided by my beloved fans. Or the fans of LONESTAR. All right, let's see. Let's do not a blue, but lighter saturated, lighter blue. Yeah, just for now. And then do that. But the thing about LONESTAR, which I don't think anybody's even going to notice, because I'm not going to make a point of it, is that characters in my universe, when they use their powers, their eyes glow. So when he powers up and he's wearing the goggles, his eyes glow through the goggles. So that color added. Okay. A little weird because I didn't actually draw them in before. No, I mean it's. I don't know. What do you guys think? Gold without the white circle. I still could try that. No, I think the white works. Oh, maybe a gold circle. We just found a solution. Makes the most sense, right? Yeah. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. What do you think, Micah? Gold circle?
Mm-hmm.
With the gold circle around it? White star, gold circle?
Yeah.
Micah said yeah. So the kid said yeah. What are the no comments and stuff. All right, I gotta actually lighten up his collar too. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, I gotta lighten up his collar and then darken up his cuffs. So let's get these. Oops. This. The heck was that? That's weird. And this. Okay. And then let's just change the lightness. Saturate it up a bit. Not that much. I think that's about right? Yeah, I could do all white, but I can make it a little dirty. Yeah. What's this part green for? Just match color, would you? And these colors. This is supposed to be his bomber jacket from World War II, which he's been wearing this whole time. Because this series takes place not in present day, but in modern day. So roughly, let's see, I must say roughly around the turn of the century. And why that is will make sense. It'll make sense with the next series, actually. It may not make sense why I made that decision in Lone Star itself. Yeah, because I do have a lot of the stuff planned out. And hopefully, with your blessing, I'll be able to fulfill all these plans that I have. It'd be so great. I'm so excited for this stuff. Let's see. Gee, let's do it. It's a standard gray grayish. Yeah, that's terrible. You know what? This is just a color guide. It's not meant to be a perfectly colored thing. So, gonna have to change his belt color too. Deselect. Oops! What the heck? Why is it deselecting that whole thing? And then, and you can be just darker green. I don't like to have too many colors, especially since he is supposed to be military. So I want sort of drab colors. I mean, granted, he's not military in the traditional sense, but have you ever lived in a haunted house? All right, that's a little tangential. Tangential. I can never figure out which way that word is pronounced. Not to my knowledge, although interestingly, my wife did just come from a place back in Cairo, Illinois. She had a family reunion thing, and she was in this house that was really old, so you know people had died there. And there's one photo where there's nobody there, like there couldn't have been anyone there, like in the photo, and there's like this streak running across the screen, like it's like a kid running through the screen, and everyone's like, there was no kid there. So lived, no, but I don't know. I don't have an explanation for that particular incident, so I will let that answer sit where it is. Turn this stuff. Darn it! I don't want. Kind of do want to do those zippers, but I can't see them because I did this. Oh, you know what? I could do it on another layer. Let me turn this one off. All right. So brush and brush. Zipper, 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 zipper. Look how fun coloring is when you are really anal retentive. Let's see if I have a question. Still the haunted house question, huh? You guys got that's the best you guys can do. All 6 of you sitting here watching me color my Dayglow hero. And the haunted house question is the best you can come up with. I will give you 30 seconds to ask me something of value to my life and yours. Still nothing. Incredible. Well, I could talk about my career in comics, my hits and my misses, and my struggles to stay afloat as a freelancer in a difficult marketplace for the last quarter century. That appeal to anyone? No? No one cares. No one wants to know about my trials and tribulations. That's fine. I don't care. I don't care. I don't know. What do you guys think? Overall, is not, well, certainly not Captain America, other than the fact that he's got a star on his head, but that's pretty much it. He is a quote-unquote super patriot character, so we got that much at least. Let me try doing these boots a little darker. Oops, what the heck? What's, oh. Let's see, on, G, darker.
And
Yeah, let's do the darker boots.
I'm on episode 26.
Let's jump up here and start doing some highlights.
10 more
just for,
episodes left.
oh, duh, I forgot. It's Texas flag. Yeah, let me do that on a simple way. So, in case you haven't figured it out, his name is LONESTAR because he is from Texas. He was born in just in the outskirts of Corpus Christi. Oops. Okay, that's oops. Here, let's do this. One, two. Oh, I can use the same colors. Love just using the same colors because I don't want too much color palette. Right? Some red. Ooh, Texas flag is the red on top of the bottom. I demand a mustache. Freedom Forge. You know what? I haven't heard anyone push it. I was out there pushing Freedom Forge. You know, I thought it was just this fantastic idea. But it seemed like nobody was putting the oomph into it. I made like little flyers I was going to take to conventions and everything. It's this flag. I think it's red on the top. Red on the top. I don't want to be wrong. Red on the bottom. See, I would have been wrong. What a fool am I. So, actually, we'll get rid of this. For those that don't know, Freedom Forge was, or is, supposed to be the sort of an alliance of right-leaning creators who were going to cabal together just to support each other's work and promote each other, you know, through a unified branding of the Freedom Forge. You can go, I think it's freedomforge.com, and check it out if you're interested in learning more about the Forge. I think it's still a great idea. I hope that it's put more foot, gets its feet on the ground, I guess. James Hunnell was going to be the publisher for those who wanted to actually publish under the banner of Freedom Forge. But more and more, it was just going to be, a way to cross promote and share each other's, resources and kind of be a loose image. I don't want to say image, but you know what I mean. Oh man, those colors make it better. Yeah. Look at that, just having that red, white, and blue on the flag on the side. Doesn't that look good? Let's see what you people think. Oh, that's Facebook. Oh, that's wrong too. Not this one. I think so too. You think so too? What? Here, let me. Yeah. Matt, you're gonna have to be more specific, my brother. Okay, he is not Native American or a Oompa Loompa or Trump. So I'm going to change his skin color. Yeah, I'm going to make him orange in honor of Trump. So let's go ahead and let's see. Oh wait, it's not even affecting anything. I haven't even put a color in there. So orange. He is a white boy from Texas. That's a good skin color. Gee, bang. Oh, that does not look good though. Alright, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fill it in anyways, and then I'm going to adjust. But sometimes a color against one palette just looks different against another. So this would be the zombie version. Ah, there we go. Give him a... No tan. Red skin? Chartreuse skin. Let's land it right about there in comfort territory. Right. So, He supports the mustache. I think so too. Freedom Forge was a good idea. I think Freedom Forge is a great idea, and I just can't be the only guy who's out there trying to promote it. You know how it is. All right, let's do another layer so I can do a little bit of. I don't want to do too much in the way of detailing because tip shape, because that is just not really right now. It's just a character design. So I want to maybe not. All right, so I'll just do a little bit of what's happening. Oh, select layer 6. Select layer 6. All right. Brush. Questions? I'll pop a mustache on him in a minute, just for giggles, just to make you happy. But he's not going to be sporting a mustache in the book. Maybe when I do him like Lone Star in the 70s, I'll give him a nice Burt Reynolds mustache. Oh, I kind of changed his jacket up too, didn't I? I didn't mean to. I guess I should have been looking at my original design when I was drawing the actual book. Is doing anything? Nope. Oh, here. I don't know. Add a couple of little. I can't help getting attentive on stuff. So I have a problem. It's a problem. And as everyone can see, I am not the world's greatest colorist, so I don't care. It sucks. I'm just going for color design. Let's see. Let's see that brush. Let's do a little bit of. Didn't you say you were making a comic about the nuclear family? Any details plot-wise? Yeah, so the nuclear family. Actually, let me save this. Maybe I can even pop up their image file. Open. Those characters I have. Where's my nuclear family? Oh, nuclear family. Here we go. So here is my all-American nuclear family. This young man can control the electromagnetic spectrum. This young lady can alter the mass of things. The mother, but the dad is he's kind of like multiple man, but see how this guy's smiling, this guy's angry. Every multiple he creates is a different facet of his personality. So that can get interesting. The mother has it's not telekinesis. I'd have to go back and read my thing. I haven't read it in a long time. But alpha male. No, don't bring up alpha male. Something about Lone Star, preferably something that can't be understood without context. Something about Lone Star. That can't be understood without context. He wears a knife. See down here? He wears a knife because he carries a grudge, 100-year-old grudge. How's that? There's no way you're going to understand that without context. And if you guess it, I'm going to be so upset. Alpha male. Did you want me to open up alpha male? You're like reading all my files. Alpha male. So, yeah, that's my alpha male. I'm not 100% sold on his design. As I was designing it, I was trying to have it make sense, like where he got his uniform, his costume, and I don't know. It's hard. It's like today's audience is so much more. I don't know, sophisticated in that, we've been watching these TV shows and movies featuring superheroes for, the better part of the last 2 decades now, and the costumes have to make sense, right? I mean, everybody makes fun of the joke in X-Men where Cyclops cracks fun at the, hey, what do you want, yellow spandex? But in a sense, it's true. I mean, I'd like to see Wolverine in more of a costume or comic originated costume, and I think they could do it in a way that looks cool. But if he just bounced out there in yellow spandex, he would look freaking stupid, and everybody knows it, even if they don't want to admit it. So I'm trying to come up with costumes that make sense to the modern, sophisticated audience, and so that's why this won't necessarily always be Lone Star's costume, but it is for at least the majority of the first miniseries. And so, I wanted it to very much make sense within the context of his origin story. This miniseries is not his origin story, but it plays into that. And, that's part of the reason I said it, 15, 18 years in the past, so that when we get to the core of the universe that's in the present, he can be in a different place than he is in this miniseries. Even though, at the point of this miniseries, I think he's 80 years old, if I'm doing my math right. Now there's a tagline. What's the tagline? You gotta say something. You got, because I just ramble on and on. So. Oh, the nuclear family making any details plot-wise. The plot-wise on the nuclear family is basically Dad here creates he's working on, he's an inventor, not like some rich Reed Richards kind of inventor. He's just like, it's more like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids meets The Incredibles than something Fantastic Four based. But the dad's kind of this quirky inventor, and he invents a machine that takes creates three-dimensional holograms, transferable three-dimensional. I forget exactly how I worded it in my outline. But what it's doing is actually creating a dimensional representation by breaching one of the 7 unknowable dimensions. And so when he goes to take a family hologram, they're like super freaking nerds. So he dresses them all up in these outfits from this faux Star Trek kind of a TV show that they just love as a family. And so they dress up in it like cosplaying, and then they take the picture. But when the picture goes off, in that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids moment, they all get shunted off into this other dimension. In this other dimension, see, in my universe, powers don't come from mutations and whatnot. Powers are an intrinsic part of your original perfect DNA. And so it's like the perfected version of you. So when they are bombarded in this other dimension, the imperfections of their DNA sort of shed away, and their powers are released through that happening, and then they're released back out of the dimension with these powers, and that is how they are born, and that is how a lot of the characters in my universe develop their powers. I do want to have that cohesive sort of a source of the power, regardless how they got it. Like I've got vampire characters who it is the same source of power, but they got to that source of the power through different methodologies. So I wish they'd make an X-Men animated series for adults with the classic costumes. Oh yeah, that'd be dope. If someone teleports in your universe, do they teleport their clothes with them, or do they provide fan service? Teleportation in my universe thus far is dimension hopping. So I have a character, Scout, in Lone Star. He's part of the unknown soldier crew that he works with, and yeah, he rips these small tears through one of the 7 dimensions. There are 10 dimensions, physicists and religious scholars tell us, right? There's 10 dimensions, 4 of them are knowable, 11 dimensions, 7 of them are unknowable, except through like sophisticated mathematical codes that nobody understands. But yeah, so you tear through a dimension, it's like rifting through a dimension to avoid space, time, and get to another location. And so yeah, Scout does that. And actually, I'm not even going to say that is such a spoiler. So Alpha Male, I'm not going to tell you his origin either. I can't just spill all the beans because part of the fun about these comics is the discovery. That's why I have such a hard time elevator pitching Lone Star, because there's stuff in the story that it's like, if I tell you, it's like this great twist that nobody sees coming towards the end of the first series. And I mean, like everybody I've showed the treatment to was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. That's so awesome. And so I don't want to freaking ruin anything. How did true DNA come to be? Because, you know, evolution doesn't work that way. That's right. Evolution doesn't work that way. My universe, these are characters created in the image and likeness of God. And, you know, those are just the rules. Every universe has its own universe, and this is a created fictional universe. But the characters here, see, over time in this universe, DNA just loses its perfection. We are going backwards. Entropy has corrupted, you know, second law of thermodynamics type stuff. Entropy corrupts, and over the generations and generations, more and more corruptions enter into the human genetic pool, and ultimately we are where we are today. But in this universe, there are ways that you can cleanse out that corruption and get to the super version of you, essentially, more or less. Rifting is the best type of teleportation. Yeah, I mean, I don't say it makes sense because it's teleportation, but that's I haven't come up with anything else for. I mean, I only have actually I have 2 teleporters, but yeah, they both use the same basic thing. I approve of the religious reason. It's very original considering the past 10 years. Zeitgeist. Yeah, we've been going down a specifically opposite trail. But yeah, like I said, you know, it is a fictional universe, but I am setting it with those boundaries. And all the writers that come in, I mean, I don't care if you're a Christian to be a writer in the book, but or even particularly religious at all. But every universe, like I said, has its boundaries. This is the sandbox. This is the edge of the sandbox. You can build whatever you want inside the sandbox, and you can have characters that believe whatever they want, because it's just like in any world, nobody believes everything the same. But as far as the foundational truth of this, such a silly thing to say, the foundational truth of this fictional universe, that's where powers come from. And so you can't have somebody just going off and making up, you know, other random stuff. I mean, unless it makes sense inside those boundaries, or finds an imaginative and interesting and fun way to get around it. You know, that's the challenge of having rules. That is the challenge that makes it fun to create inside of the universe. That's why I didn't want to just do, you know, I didn't just want to do another image. I didn't just, you know, all these guys like Ethan and your boy Zach and Mitch, and everyone's doing their own thing. And, you know, God bless them for it. I'm glad. And I love that. But, you know, I've had people say, hey, let's get together and form this thing and we'll all do our own characters. And I'm like, that's not what I want to do. You know, I want to build out a universe. And granted, you know, I don't necessarily want to be the creator of everything in the universe, but I do want to create the foundation and the rules and I want to be the sandbox. And then I want other creators to come in and play in my sandbox and create characters within these boundaries, to build up to this. I have this, I don't know if it's going to be 5 years or 10 years, but I have a crescendo where all of these creations come together in sort of a, I mean, it's a crossover of Infinity Gauntlet level, you know, stuff, but I'm not going to be like, hey, let's do a crossover every year. You know, I mean, I might have one or two books, you know, crossing over because they do share a universe. I'd like to have characters guest starring in other books, you know, that they don't usually abide in. You know, the way Marvel was in the 80s before all the crossovers took over. It was so great. I loved it. You hire great people. It's the Jim Shooter model, right? Hire good people to do good work. Hire great people to do great work. Here's the rules. Go nuts. And that's what I want to do. So what are the limits of your sandbox, aka the rules of the universe? That is a great question. That's a great question. I'm actually going to have to write that down. See, because right now it's just me. But when I start bringing on other people, I am going to have to have that. Like in, basically I'm going to have a quote unquote universe Bible, right? And I am going to have to flesh that out because right now it's all just tiddling in my mind and on my, obviously you guys have seen on my computer. I've got all these things. Have you considered how your game translates into other media like video games? That being my profession, that always comes to mind. It depends on which one it is. I mean, I've got so many. Here, let's see what else I have in here that I haven't shown previously. Versa? I don't think I've done Versa. Dragonian. Let's see, I've got Versa, Dragonian, LONESTAR, Cyberjack you've seen, Devil Dog you've seen, Hourglass you've seen, Robin Turtle you've seen. Oh, Primo. Actually, I don't love Primo's design, but I'll show it to you anyways. I'm going to probably change him. Oh, FPS. Yeah, FPS's design is going to change too, but I like his. Let's see. I don't even know. I should be going through these. So yeah, the reason. Okay, so Primo. Primo's a villain. He kind of stole this suit. The suit activates basically along your acupuncture lines. It activates chi through the Primo vascular system, which is why I called it Primo. I actually met this lady who was telling me about the discovery of the Primo vascular system, which is it was like a hidden. You guys can look this up. It's great. It's like a hidden nerve system, but its job is to deliver stem cells to different parts of your bodies, and it's like they only discovered it in like the 60s or 70s, and the guy that discovered it was actually a North Korean scientist who subsequently disappeared, and his discovery had just been rediscovered recently. And so the grids on this match up with the acupuncture grids, and that's kind of what I wanted to do, because I wanted to have a suit that was designed to activate the different levels of chi. So like you can put this suit on, and all those freaking awesome things that kung fu masters can do, you can do just by like them activating it through the acupuncture points in the body. And so it looks a little hokey. So I was thinking about maybe redesigning it, but that's where he was so far. But video game wise, to get to your question, I have no idea on that one. Okay. FPS, first person superhero. I'm not even gonna get into that. That was all. Oh gosh, should I? That would be.
I think here.
Okay, basically. No, I'm not. I would have to read through that again. Oh, this one was. Which one was this? Oh gosh, some of these I have to go back and reread. Dragonian. Oh, this guy's from. It's like a modern island of Dr. Moreau, where the experiments have been taken over by another guy, and they've been doing some serious genetic mishmashing. Yeah, I haven't drawn all of them. I have a whole bunch of other stuff on my. I have a whole folder for IPs that I've been developing over the last 20 odd years. But yeah, yes, hero, as accurate as the closest gamer. The acupuncture suit is a sick concept. Thank you. Yeah, when I was talking to this doctor lady on the shuttle to Emerald City a couple years ago, and she told me about this, and it just set my entire imagination into like full gear. So I was like, "Oh, this could be so sick." So yeah, concept's cool. The suit is a little silly, so I'll probably have to mess around with that a little bit more before. He's not quite ready for prime time.
It's a silly suit.
It's a silly suit. Thank you, Isaac. So, what's the consensus here on the Lone Star color scheme? We good with this, or should I try something a little different? I mean, trying something different is as easy as just sometimes doing this. No, definitely not. Okay, ignore. All right, hold on a second. All right, let me just pick his pants. Let's just pick this part of it. Oh no, that's gonna pick his patches and stuff. Let me try something right there. All right, hide that, and then alter colors. Okay, obviously blue and purple isn't gonna cut it, but how about a blue pants and a green, darker blue, more saturation. Actually, blue and green's not bad. Except for that collar. The collar obviously doesn't work. Hey, what do you guys think? Brown and green?
Huh?
Blue and green.
I think of food. What? That one.
Not this one?
Food!
Alright, the kids like the brown.
Food!
What do you guys think?
Food!
I tried more colors on the paints. Looks great.
This is food. He made a teammate just down the way.
Oh, what the heck happened? Why isn't it, it's weird, why isn't it not changing colors? What is happening to my computer? Console?
Yes. Infrared.
So maybe a blue on the pants? Let's try.
What? That dude stole my kill.
Let's try a blue on the pants. I don't want to look much like jeans though. Why is this not changing? Oh, I don't have preview on. That's pretty. What do you think? Blue and brown pants?
Me like only jeans.
You what?
Jeans be like.
You like the blue or the green?
I like black.
You like what?
Like black.
You like black. He's already got black shirt. I don't want to have black shirt and black pants.
That looks cool.
Why? Actually, it does look cool.
With black shirt and black pants.
But I don't want to be Batman for Pete's sake.
Batman.
Black always looks cool. Why is black? Dang it, the black looks cool. Dark blue with a tinge of green. Couple colors of the pants. Isn't the eagle missing some color detail? I don't know. I want the eagle to just be yellow, I think. Dark blue with a tinge of green looks great. The patches on the pants so it's not all the same type. Oh no, I'm not gonna do I'm not gonna do the camouflage pants. Partly because I don't want to draw camouflage every single time I draw this character, because I'm gonna have to draw him several hundred times in every book. And camouflage is very much tuned up. Dark blue with a tinge of green. What I have? Dark blue. Darken it up a little bit. Saturate it up a little bit. I mean, blue and brown does look good together. I'd have to do that to his helmet thing too. Ooh, that kind of color. Like that. But then it looks kind of like jeans. Belt's so green. Green just doesn't look superhero-y though, does it?
No. That's too green.
So you think I should go with blue?
Huh?
You think I should go with blue?
Dark blue.
Dark blue.
Yeah.
And his head thing too. Yeah, actually that does look good. What is he yelling about?
I don't know. Like,
yeah. What do you guys think?
I think it looks like a turd.
Thanks. You're very helpful. I was asking the peanut gallery. LONESTAR! So, maybe, gosh, on my screen it looks a lot, the eagle looks a lot darker on my screen. Yours seems to be light. Let me see if I can.
People usually have brighter screens.
Saturation's all the way up. Darkness. Darkness! Oh, parents. I could make his... Just to... See, that's my conundrum. I like it all gold, but at the same time, I want it to be a bald eagle. Oops. Oops, what am I doing? How about that? What do you think? All gold or bald?
I know. It was 99.
Shall we change his clothes the next day? Yeah, he's probably going to end up with a lot of pants with blood stains on him. So.
You see, whenever I hit arm or something, that
And that he's going to have his own dry cleaner for that jacket. Let's get a vote on this bald eagle or gold. Is Micah going to be in the comic as Batmite? As a Batmite character. Someone's asking if you're going to be in the comic as a Batmite character.
Batmite?
Batmite? Oh, you haven't even watched the old Batman cartoons. Oh. I kind of think that's distracting. I think I'm just going to go with the gold.
Daddy,
What?
you should do?
What?
Make him have like a giant scar on his arm.
A giant scar on his arm?
Like, did he crash? Like, how
Yes,
did
he crashed.
Yeah, you should make like a giant scar somewhere.
Yeah, Isaac is saying I should give him a giant scar somewhere. But I'm going to ignore Isaac.
Why? I have good ideas. All superheroes have to have giant scars.
All superheroes have to have giant scars. I didn't know that rule. That's a new rule to me. All right, I'm gonna save this off. Oh, I didn't even do this. What's that? And brush. So let's give this a little bit of a tinge reflection. Right. Good enough. I think that's the choice. I think that's the color choice for now. Everybody good? Make a whole page about him going to his secret pants stash.
Get like 10 shots.
Make it all gold. Yeah, that's what I want with all gold.
Fire mode semi.
Now the belt is too thin.
Can you change mode?
There is no more depth to it. The belt? The belt is too thin. What on
my favorite
earth?
part about the gun is we got this one.
I'm not coloring. This is a colored guide for my colorist for you. So I'm sorry that the belt is too thin. Huh? Should I fleck mud on his boots as well? No, I think we're good.
You should give him a star.
Save this. Flatten it. Create a flattened file. Ship this off
give him a
to
scar over the
my
eye.
colorist. I'm not giving him a scar.
Give him the eye.
No.
Kakashi.
No.
Yeah.
Kakashi.
Better.
Anybody have any last minute questions before I beggar out of this? This is my... All right. So with the aid of my my blacklist acolytes, apostles, the apostles of Blacklist Comics, go out and spread the good news, my apostles. Lone Star is coming. He will save the industry. Who's coloring the book? Oh, the mustache. I'm sorry. Just for you, I am going to. Teodoro Gonzalez is going to be coloring some of this stuff, but he's very busy, so I'm going to. I have a couple of different colors that I use, like on Injustice and on Meg and whatnot, and I'll probably be farming out to them. Let's see. We're gonna. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're going to do a mustache. Let us ensure that we do a proper mustache. I could do the Superman mustache. But then I'd have to do the Superman CG lip fix. There, just for you. Lone Star with a mustache. Are you happy
better.
now?
Daddy, he looks better.
He looks better with a mustache?
Yeah.
You guys are killing me.
And put a giant beard on him.
I'm not going to put a giant beard on him. Now he looks like a jerk.
Yeah, he looks like that villain. He's the villain now.
This will be...
No, that's his nemesis, his twin brother, but with a mustache.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've never done that before.
Yeah.
Listen to my kids. They're insane. They've been watching too much Star Trek.
What?
All right, guys.
I never watched Star Trek.
I'll be quiet. I appreciate your being here. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Let's stop sharing my page here real quick. And my kids over here. And like I said, I really appreciate your input. Thanks for being here. I was gonna do this anyways, but having some friends around, it was actually a lot more fun. So I hope it was fun for you, and I hope you come back at my next video. Please share these videos. Please share the Blacklist Facebook page. We got to get some. Got to get some
money.
Money. Thank you. That is what it's all about. No, we got to get some, excitement going before I take the time to launch this Indiegogo. I don't have the massive amount of fans that the other guys on YouTube have because I haven't been doing this diligently, and I think I've explained that why before. But I appreciate you. Appreciate your viewership, and hope to see you again on the next one. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.